If you have ever had a very big cry and you just let it all out and you finally cracked, you cried and cried and cried and you sat there, and what's left afterwards? Stillness. The
Mm.
stillness that people are trying to get to in meditation, but they're often just cognitively working through these steps and omitting the body aspect as well.
Everything she said today was already inside of her. We just gave it a voice. We just aligned mind and body. And then this is the allowance that we need to process. It's like we're not here to fix her, we're not here to change her, we're just here to give her parts a voice so they can be processed and so that she feels safe to be herself.
Wow, it was really psychedelic at the end.
Hello and welcome to the Spiritual Bypassers podcast. Today with me, Jannick, and Ashley.
I
And we will explain in a bit why Tim is not here today. But it was a very exciting episode today because we did a short intro on why the most powerful human superpower on this planet is to be able to feel your emotions, master your emotions, be with them, and then you can create whatever you want for yourself in your life. And we didn't stop there. We actually went for a demo. So I guided Ashley through a process where I show a lot of techniques that you can also use with yourself to become a master of your emotions and to process the things that want to be processed. So stay tuned. This was very exciting, and I hope you can take a lot out of it. See you on the other side. Hello, and welcome to a new episode of the Spiritual Bypassers podcast. I'm here today with Ashley. Hi,
Hello.
Ashley. Yes, and Tim is not here. He's busy, but we decided to do an episode together anyways because we're just so excited to share some stuff with you, and we thought it could be an amazing opportunity to do a demo session as well. So we're going to actually demo some of the tools that we know. So I'm going to guide Ashley later on through a process, and I think you've seen this before in one of the earlier episodes, but this will be a bit different, and we'll talk about why and what we're going to do. But yeah, a big welcome, Ashley. It's nice to be on an episode just with you today, even though I missed him, of course.
Yeah, we always missed him, but
Yeah.
it's nice to feels cozier when it's just two of us. So I'm happy to be doing this. It's like, as you can see from what I'm wearing, if you're watching a video, very cozy and wintry, and that's just the general vibe of introspection is very present right now. So I'm really curious and a bit nervous about the demo as well.
Yeah, yeah, let's see how that goes. We're just going to explore. And I feel the same way. Like this morning, I woke up and I looked outside and it was just all really gray. And usually I don't spend winters in Germany. This year I do. And I feel like this energy of introspection. And it's interesting because I usually already introspect a lot. So now it's like finding a balance as well and being like, okay, do I really need more introspection? How can I balance that with work and getting things done as well? Because I think that's at the same time, yes, introspection, but it's also inviting to stay inside, to be creative, to get some things done because there's less distraction outside as well. So I enjoy that.
Yeah, I'd say the biggest challenge is also being present with that, so not succumbing to easy distractions inside the house, because obviously that's very easy to just watch movies and to be on your phone. And I'm really noticing like it's even though you're sinking into this like softness of hibernation, it still requires this some form of structure and discipline internally. And yeah, it's a bit of a challenge sometimes because you just want to melt and sleep and do nothing.
Yes. Yes, totally. It's sometimes hard to get up in the morning, especially when you're waking up next to your partner and then you're just like, cuddles feels good. It's cold outside, but you know,
Well,
I
I don't
thought
have
we need to.
that problem.
Not yet,
Not yet. But
but yeah.
for me, I've been strategically just planning most of my meetings and things to, apart from maybe this one, to not be past 11 or 12. So to really just allow that there is needed some space to have a slower morning and that it's okay. And reminding myself that I actively chose to be here during winter. So when I'm
Yeah,
biking through Amsterdam and it's raining and there's wind in my face, and I'm like, I chose this, I chose this, I chose this, I chose.
yeah,
Because yeah, I technically could be anywhere, but I decided to do this, so I can't complain.
same for me. I resonate. And it's great. This is usually the other day I realized that this is also my definition of freedom is to do what you want to do. Be able to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be always like having all opportunities, because some people think that's freedom. But for me, it feels really freeing to be like, yeah, I chose to do this and now I'm doing this. And there's a lot of great things about it as well. And being able to enjoy the cold, for example, is a part of it. Yeah.
It's so nice. I've joined a cold plunge community here that has like nearly a
Ooh,
thousand people in the WhatsApp group and loads coming to the meetups. And it's like it's cold here in Amsterdam, so it's really nice. Like I felt like I was high on drugs after the last one. Like I wasn't. It was just the cold and people and knowing like, oh, I can come back to this.
yeah,
That absolutely, maybe that sounds so like from people who stay in one place, like really boring, but that blew my mind. I was like, oh, I can actually make friends here and see them again next Saturday.
yeah,
I can come back the Saturday after. It's like I've really missed that aspect of community.
and consistency.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Nice. Yes, and actually, it's funny that you say that because yesterday I talked to my dad. Recommend call your parents. It's great spiritual work. It's great emotional work to speak to your parents, and reflect afterwards how it made you feel and why. So I talked to my dad yesterday, and he told me the same thing. He was like, "Yeah, I did a cold plunge. Last year I did it every week, and now I'm slowly starting again, and it's so nice. And now I want to do it every week again." And really gets you like really high, and it's something really amazing to do when it's cold. Yeah.
Just not if you're on your
Um,
period as a girl.
okay.
Yeah. There, your feet and your womb should be very warm.
Yeah. Yes, and I don't have a clever transition, but I want to talk about I want to talk about emotions. They can be cold sometimes as well,
Yeah, and
and really
fiery.
warm and
Yeah.
fiery. Yes, yes, for sure. And Ashley recommended this book several times to me. This book called "It's Not Always Depression." So I finally bought it and I started reading it, and it's just an amazing book so far. It has been, and Ashley knows more about it than me, but we both agree that it is exactly what the world needs. It is emotional education and how to master your emotions, how to navigate your emotions, how to be with them, and also to understand what's actually happening inside of you when you're looping in certain emotions and you feel like there's no way out, when you are trying to avoid certain emotions but you don't notice it, and like what is actually an emotional conflict inside of you. And it really gives you a really nice map to understand. And yeah, actually, maybe you can say a few things about what is it that you find so valuable about this book? What is it that you took out of it, and why do you recommend it over and over again?
I, it's a funny title because I think it's like a very Ashley title. I mean, yeah, there's no hiding. Like I've been navigating with depression my whole life in some shape or form. So I found it a bit like cliche when I first bought this book like a couple of years ago. But I was reading it and it's laid out in such simple terms, like the basics of emotions, like what does it mean when we have things like shame, guilt, anxiety, and people, most of the clients I'm working with assume that those are base emotions. So even the understanding that we have core emotions, and on top of that are these like covering, like distracting emotions like shame, guilt, anxiety, regret, and that there can even on top of that be protection mechanisms going on. Like when that's just so simply laid out, the author uses the concept of the change triangle. That you can just Google that, like that's really easy. There's articles that she's written. I just found it so simple and so like it made so much sense. And I looked at it like did our teacher from emotional release, did he read this and put it into basically the foundations of the training that you and I did? And of course, like things can be explained simpler and can be explained in new ways, which we're planning to do. But yeah, it just really landed for me. And I recommend it to all my clients because it's a really like I'm not going to say it's the dummy's guide to emotions, but it's at that level of like simplicity. It's not
Mm.
going into all this complex psychological aspects because even the books like The Body Keeps the Score is a heavy read. Like
Mm.
it's a big book. There's a lot of
Yeah.
studies in it. There's a lot of heaviness in it. It brings up a lot. Like it took me 2 times trying to read that book because I had to go through the first part and let all the I think I even got sick reading the book because it
Mm.
moved so much inside. So yeah, I love it. Simple. It's what most
Yeah.
people need.
Can you say a few things about the change triangle? Because when I first heard it, I was like, wow, this sounds so interesting. The change triangle, like, wow, is this like it makes you curious when you hear it.
Yeah, I'll explain it and then I'm curious to hear what your shift is since you've tried it as well.
Yeah.
The change triangle is essentially mm, a diagram that you can use in real time when you are feeling particular emotions. So when you're feeling stuck, you can normally identify yourself at a certain point on this triangle, whether you're in like a repeating pattern that's like protecting you from something. So that could be maybe eating chocolate too much. Like this, I nearly choked on a piece of chocolate yesterday, so it's very present in my feeling now. I was like, thank God it melts. So that was maybe irrelevant, but I definitely felt some when that happened. I also felt like I felt shame for having eaten chocolate when I wasn't really feeling it, but I did do that anyway. But shame is one point of the triangle, is not the baseline state of emotions. Shame is a cover that is covering something underneath that. So what was it covering underneath that? Fear of nearly choking and also sadness from feeling like, why am I filling this gap inside of me with food right now that I don't need? And this triangle is an invitation to bring you into, can you sit with and be with everything that we talk about in emotional release, this emotion, and underneath, yeah, there you go. So the core emotions, if you're on the video watching, if not, go on YouTube because it's way more engaging to see our faces as well. Um, we don't do our facials for nothing. Come on, guys. So
Exactly.
core emotions: fear, anger, sadness, disgust, joy, excitement, and sexual excitement. I actually really like the use of these 7. Like I know some people just work with 4, which is like the fear, anger, sadness, and joy. But in my experience in working with people, disgust is hugely present, and that is a discernment between excitement and sexuality as well. And they are all like very core human experiences. What most people misunderstand is that they think that that's where we stop. And we talked about the 8 C's before in the parts work episode, but most people think that we're trying to always get to joy and that we're trying to get to not feeling fear or not feeling sadness, but that we're just trying to feel good. Also, I hate that word, not part of my vocabulary. What is good? So actually, we're trying to get down to the open-hearted state of the authentic self. This is the calm, curious, connected, compassionate, confident, courageous, and clear. And this is the state that people arrive to after an emotional release has happened. And you would probably have done this yourself if you have ever had a very big cry and you just let it all out and you finally cracked, you cried and cried and cried and you sat there and what's left afterwards? Stillness. The
Mm.
stillness that people are trying to get to in meditation, but they're often just cognitively working through these steps and omitting the body aspect as well. And
Yeah.
yeah, of course, this is a book. It's still a mental process. I think she does pretty good in explaining like different ways you can also start to bring the body in, but naturally everything is complement to each other. So this helps you understand it mentally, body and embodiment and emotional release helps it land physically. There's also going to be a spiritual component to this of how yourself is experiencing and moving through all of this. Yeah, I love this book. It's great.
Amazing. Yeah, I loved how I explained the change triangle, and I really resonate with using these core emotions as well as something that we want to, come to process. And sometimes we can't get there. So we have these inhibitory emotions like anxiety, shame, and guilt, and we are stuck there,
Mhm.
can't move through to get to actually what wants to be processed and wants to be felt, because this is a very important aspect. It doesn't feel safe enough. So, yeah, someone who has anxiety, someone who has shame, someone who feels guilt wants to feel safe. If you are afraid, and these are all forms of fear, you know, covering up the core emotions, then you want to feel safe. And so there's a need behind it. And then there's a lot of ways that can make you feel safer. So, for example, self-compassion. So understanding, for example, why it's good for you right now to not feel that emotion, because it is not safe to feel that emotion, could be a way to create safety in your system. Having a facilitator with you who can hold you in that could be a way to feel more safe. Uh, or yeah, calming the nervous system, breathing. There's a lot of different ways that you can make your body feel safer to then come into a state where you can then move past these inhibitory emotions and get to the core emotions. And that's all really that needs to happen. If you really break it down, it's very simple. Emotions want to be processed. They
Mhm.
are here to be seen and to be processed, and then a lot of times taking action. But the taking action is very natural. The only reason why you wouldn't take action is because you don't want to feel the things that you would need to feel once you take action. So you avoid taking the action because maybe it would mean confrontation, or it would mean another emotion like sadness or whatever. Sometimes we even repress the joy. We don't want to feel the joy that we would feel if we would take action. So I really want to incorporate this taking action step here as well, because this podcast is called Spiritual Bypasses. And a lot about the spiritual bypassing is actually about not wanting to take action. So I want to feel good, like you said, without changing anything. And that's just a sign that you are avoiding core emotions. You try to think your way into a better state. You try to bypass your way into a better state. And the only reason you do that is because you don't want to feel all of the things that need to be felt.
Mhm.
So it's an important aspect.
I just dreamt about this like a couple hours ago,
Mm,
like the motivated action aspect. You're really just reminding me, like really using channeling anger and or any emotion into actually taking action.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's the
But
superpower. I always call it the superpower. The human superpower is to be able to hold all emotions. And now maybe this is a great way to move over to the next step and to introduce to you a specific technique that we also want to use in the demo.
Mhm.
So how do you actually get to that superpower or attain that superpower? Because some of it is really hidden. I mean, you might sit here and be like, I'm ready. I'm ready for all the emotions. Okay, bring it on. Okay, that's your mind saying, yes, you're ready. But deeper in your body, in your subconscious, there are still some beliefs and convictions that some emotions aren't safe to be felt. And
Mhm.
so you need some kind of a process to get there. And as I said, safety is an important aspect. So the safer your system feels, the more, it will bring up emotions to the surface. But usually what we do is we go for the safest option. We always go for safety. We always go for the things that feel safe. And a lot of times suffering is what feels safe because that's what you're used to. So you
Mhm.
go into a state of suffering where then you constantly like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. But that's the definition of suffering, is being in resistance, and you don't notice how safe it feels to be in that suffering state. You don't notice how being in this constant conflict that you're like, I want to get out of it, but I don't know how. I want to get out of it, but I don't know how. That's actually safe. That
Mhm.
feels like safe to your system. And getting out of this feels really unsafe and uncertain. And you're like, what would happen? Who would I be without this conflict?
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it's the same as people who are stuck in traumatic cycles. And that's actually just all the body knows. Like I've had this interaction a couple of times this year where I've met more and more safer men, and my body is like, run. It's like that feels unsafe in
Yeah.
a way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because what a safe man might be able to do with your system is to create enough safety for then emotions to come up that don't feel safe inside of you. So you're like, oh, no,
Yeah.
no, I don't want that.
Yeah, but I do, and I'm actively more and more this year have chosen more and more like closer. So yeah,
Yeah,
but maybe not
yeah,
fast.
yeah. I'm I'm in a sharing mode today, so I'm going to share another thing. So these are just some examples. We basically what it is an embodied belief inside of us that we need to suffer. And this is very counterintuitive because we might think our ego is like, no, I don't want to suffer. But that's the programming. It's like the mind says, I don't want to suffer, but I suffer, and that makes the suffering. And so the first step a lot of times in this work is to connect with the utility of suffering, like I just said. And here are just some examples if you're seeing this on video. The first one is I need to suffer to get attention, which ultimately is approval and love. Yeah, so as you can see, all of these, and you might know this from our parts work episodes, is something that a child would do. So we are still acting as if we were children. So it's like I need to get attention. So when I suffer, I get attention, right? A lot of people get attention through suffering. So a need is fulfilled through the suffering. And then you're like, now I see why I'm suffering all the time because I get attention out of it. Okay, I'm actually smart. Actually, my system is really smart with the suffering. Actually, I don't really want to get out of it or to get taken care of or to succeed. You know, maybe you need to suffer to succeed with something that you want to do, or you need to suffer to motivate yourself. That's very common. It's like such a common belief. Or you need to suffer to try to control others, or you to punish yourself, or to teach yourself or others a lesson. And all of these give you control over your life, a sense of control, because feeling those emotions might feel like you are out of control, and it gives you approval, and it gives you love. So these are just some examples why you would actually need to suffer. And it's really, really nice to ask yourself that question, what am I getting out of this suffering? Like you're stuck in a state, you ask yourself, why am I doing this? What do I get out of believing this? What do I get out of being in this state right now? Because you can always be sure there is a reason. You're not doing this just because you're stupid, or your system is not doing it because it's stupid. It's actually really smart. So yeah, that is something I wanted to share with you. And I would like to go into the demo with you, Ashley, and I want to show how an investigation can look like, and you guys at home can like follow along and see if some of the things resonate with you, and also do your own investigation. The questions that you want to ask yourself might be a little different, but I think it'll still be possible to do that. But make sure you're not driving while you do that. You actually in a safe space, and you can close your eyes and you're not being distracted, because this basic sense of safety needs to be present in your body. If that's not present, then it will be really hard to do self-investigation, as mentioned earlier. So, Ashley, do you feel ready?
Yes, sorry, I was muted. That's also a dynamic that I sense a little bit right now because of obviously like recording and the level of how safe I feel to express like really deep stuff to
Yeah.
strangers. No matter as much as I know I do a lot of content work and things like this, because I also notice that there's maybe this expectation that when you're like a teacher or a leader that you're supposed to have more of your shit together.
Mm,
So I noticed that judgment inside of like revealing too much of what's going on.
yeah. Yeah, that's really important that you mention that. And you know, you mentioning that already creates more safety and creates a framework for us. And you knowing that you don't have to always go like full on to the full depth of
Yeah.
things. Maybe, and especially for you, who is someone who likes to go like hard and deep and like really be like, let's get to the juicy parts like
We're
right
talking about
away.
with emotions, right? Nothing else.
Yeah, it can be nice to go a bit slower and to really let go of the expectations of a big process needing to happen or anything really needing to happen. So like just being curious and then noticing, oh, there's something and I don't want to, share this in a podcast. Oh, there's something and I feel comfortable sharing this in a podcast. And like really looking. And it's not about you having a deep process, it's more about introducing different tools and kinds of questions and stuff to the our listeners.
Yeah.
And we can do that no matter what happens. And it's maybe it is even a great example to see that sometimes really powerful things can happen without much happening, like from the outside.
Cool. I'm ready.
Nice. Okay, so the first thing that we would always do is to look inwards for a moment and connect to our body. So I'd invite you and Ashley to close your eyes for a moment and then taking a few deep breaths in through the nose into the belly and the heart and exhaling. Deep inhale and exhale. Sometimes it can help to make sounds. Deep inhale and exhale. And then doing a quick body scan, noticing how your head is feeling, your face. Whenever you put your awareness somewhere, see if you can relax that part a bit more. The eyes, the point between the eyebrows, the nose, the lips, the neck and shoulder area, arms and the hands, and the back, upper back, lower back, chest, belly, really allowing these parts to relax in this moment. And if they are not relaxed, also noticing that. And then moving your attention to the hips, the pelvic floor, which is often where we hold a lot of tension. See if we can relax that. It's connected to the jaw, so Ashley is doing jaw movements as we go there with our attention. This is also connected to anger, aggression, primal sexual energy, these parts. And then moving with the awareness to the butt, the upper legs, lower legs, and to the feet. And then sensing your whole body, putting your awareness on this field of your whole body for a moment. Really this getting this sense of fully embodying who you are, fully landing in your body, being with what is here and what's present for you. And already this is really powerful And then what we want to do is we call this in these kind of inquiries, we call this the first door. We want to go to the first door and see what's here. And the first door is the resistance to anything that we are feeling. So you can ask yourself, and I'm going to ask Ashley, is there any part in your body right now, any sensation that you are resisting? Can you feel resistance in your body somewhere? And if so, feel free to share about this with me.
So resistance could also be pain that I don't want to be there and things like this, right?
Exactly. It's like, I don't want this. I don't want to feel this.
Yeah. Yeah, I have tension in my jaw, at my cheek,
Yeah.
in here, by my liver, like a dull ache, and like a very bloated feeling around my womb as well. And my feet are very cold.
Yeah. Okay. So that already gives us some information, also some entry points. And usually it's good to go with the most intense one, the one with the most energy on it. So what would you say, Ashley, is most intense right now
Yeah,
in
the
terms
point
of
of
it?
I can't fully remember the exact word for this point, but it's really on the cheek. It's like this pressure point right where the jaw cheekbone is meeting. There's a lot of sinus points here as well. So
Yeah.
it's very sore here a lot for me,
Yeah.
like painful as well. It's like if I push it, it's like already an 8 out of 10
Okay. So that's
painful.
some strong pain, that of course the body doesn't want to feel, so it creates resistance. And what we want to do is we want to invite and move this feeling and move towards it. So we are going to use a technique that's called reverse inquiry. So we're going to say something that is actually not true for Ashley, and then the body will tell us about the lie. So, Ashley, I would like you to say in your mind, I want to feel this pain. I don't need to get rid of this. I want to feel this pain in my above my cheeks. I don't need to get rid of this. This can stay. And then see, how does your body react? Where do you feel a reaction?
There was a little giggle.
Mhm.
And yeah, a bit of anger. I mean, I know that
Anger.
it's anger here, but yeah, it's anger at the thought of like, that's why I laughed almost, when you're like, like, what the fuck? Like, no, I
Yeah.
don't want this to stay.
Yes, yes. And where do you feel this no? It's like, no, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't want to feel this.
I'm not quite sure.
Okay. So let's repeat it. Like, let's connect to the pain again and then do this reverse inquiry. This can stay. I don't want to get rid of this. I want to feel this pain.
And like the on my back where my solar plexus would be at the back, like my
Yeah.
also the shoulders, I really feel it all the back level here.
Yeah. That's where you feel the no. That's where you feel that what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so then I want you, we're going to use another method here. It's called rapid fire. So we want to let this know that Ashley has created. We want to let it speak. So we want to see what it has to say. So it will start with, no, I don't want to feel this.
Mhm.
No, I don't want to feel this. No, I don't want to feel this. No, I don't want to feel this. And then we see if it wants to say something else. And Ashley is already like internally firing it. You can do some movements like Ashley is doing, like moving back and forth a bit. And it's like, because what this pain is doing, this no, it is already firing. It's like, no, I don't want to feel it. No, I don't want to feel it. That's how resistance speaks.
Yeah.
So allow it to say no. Allow it to say no, I don't want to feel it. No, I don't want to feel it.
No, I don't want to feel it. No, I don't want to feel it. No, I don't want to feel it. No, I don't want to feel it. It's not fair.
It's
I'm
not fair.
not fair. It's not fair. I'm
Yeah,
tired. It's not
yeah,
fair. It's really that phrase, it's not fair, feels
yeah,
really present.
yeah. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. Keep going. It's not fair.
It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. And then I notice sadness coming up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we've processed some of the layers and now sadness is coming up. So we are going to be with that sadness now. So where do you feel that sadness in your body?
My eyes,
In your eyes?
like a lump-ish in my throat, like sore throat almost.
Yeah. And then we can reverse this again and be like, I can be sad. It's okay to be sad. What's your body's reaction to that? It's okay to be sad.
I feel like I swallowed it down a little bit.
Yeah,
And it's like right here now.
yeah. I can feel the sadness.
Yeah. I'm tired of being sad.
Yes, yes, exactly. So there's the resistance. So it's
Yeah.
not a problem. It's not a problem to be sad, but it is if you have resistance to it. So there we found the resistance in her body. It's like, I'm tired of being sad. I'm fucking tired of being sad. So let's see where that is in your body. Where do you feel this? I'm tired of being sad.
Yeah, back in the drawer.
Back in the jaw. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's like
Here now.
let's
Yeah.
let's let's give it some more energy. So it's okay to be sad. I can be sad.
To be sad. And I have so much resistance to
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very good.
that.
Okay, so this resistance, where is
Yeah.
it? In your jaw?
Yeah.
No. I'm tired of being sad. No, I don't want to be sad. I don't want to be sad. I'm tired of being sad. No, I'm tired of being sad. I'm tired of being sad. I'm tired of being sad.
Tired of being sad. I'm tired of being sad. I don't want to be sad. I'm tired of being sad. I'm done with being sad. I don't want to be sad anymore. It's really tight in my right jaw.
Yeah. Yeah, give it like express it. Be like this jaw. Basically, you act as if the jaw is saying, I'm tired of being sad. I'm tired of being sad. I'm tired. Don't be sad. Don't be sad. Don't be sad.
Yeah. Don't be sad. Don't be sad. Stop being sad. Can I add in like more thoughts that come with it?
Yeah.
Like, because this judgment of sadness is not necessarily my own. It's like everyone telling me to stop being so sad, everyone telling me that have a really heavy energy sometimes and I'm very intense. That's
Yeah.
really hard. It's
Yeah.
because I choose for this to be here.
Yeah.
So if you don't stop being sad, you're going to be by yourself. Like if you are sad, you're going to be alone. If you're sad, you're going to be by yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. This is what the voice is saying.
If you're sad, you're not fun to be around.
Yeah.
If you're sad, then no one will want to spend time with you. No one will want to date you because you're intense. If you're sad, then you're not seeing the nice parts of life and you're just letting everything be heavy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the resistance speaking to sadness. All the
Yeah.
things it has to say. Very good.
My jaw is a bypasser. Who would have guessed? Oh man, my throat hurts a lot.
Yeah.
I'm afraid if I go into the sadness, I won't come out again.
Yeah. very common arguments by the
Yeah.
resistance is it's too much, I can't get out of it, it'll overwhelm me.
It's overwhelmed me before.
Yeah, yeah,
I've been in this cave before,
yeah,
and I promised I would never go back into it.
yeah. Okay, so this voice is basically saying that sadness is equal to a cave that you once went into and that you will never get out of again.
Yeah.
It's
And
convinced that that's sadness.
yeah, sadness is a burden to others,
Yeah,
heavy for others.
yeah. And these like we went now a bit more into the stories, which can sometimes be a big relief. Like we saw, like it helped Ashley release. Um, and it's coming from the energy of don't be sad. It's like fear
Yeah.
of sadness. And there's a million reasons why. And now that we've acknowledged the story a bit, we can come back and see more of that energy. So we can again say, it's okay to be sad. I can be sad.
Feel the resistance in my chest to even say it.
Yeah. What is your chest saying? No, don't
Yeah.
be sad.
Yeah, it's not okay to be sad.
It's not okay to be sad. So let's rapid fire that. It's not okay to be sad. Don't be
Okay to
sad.
be sad. It's not okay to be sad. Stop being sad. It's not okay to be sad.
Yeah,
It's not okay to be sad.
not okay.
Stop. It's dangerous to be sad. You might
Dangerous.
die if you're sad.
Yes.
Don't be sad.
Yeah.
Don't be sad.
Yeah. Don't be sad. Don't be sad. Don't be sad.
Yeah, don't be sad. Don't be sad. Don't be sad.
We're letting the resistance like say its things. It's like we want to make it conscious. It's constantly there in your body. It's constantly firing. We are just giving it a voice. It's already there. It's already firing constantly in Ashley's body saying, don't be sad, don't be sad, don't be sad, don't be sad, don't be sad.
It's
It's
not okay.
dangerous to be sad.
Very dangerous to be sad.
And then at any time we can rev it up. We can be like, it's totally fine to be sad. I can be sad. And then her body will react with no.
It's okay to be a little bit sad. No, it's not.
No, no, no. It's not. It's not. It's not. And
I feel like Gollum.
yes, yes. So now there's a self-conscious part coming in and being like, this is weird that I don't even allow myself to be sad. So this again, this is a cover emotion, and it's if it comes up, we need to acknowledge it. So it might be a little bit of shame or whatever it is. It's like why I want to be able to allow myself to be sad, and I can't. So what the fuck? Something's wrong with me, maybe, or so, whatever this part is saying.
Yeah, it's like I can allow myself in moments to be sad, but I there is this underlying judgment every time that
Yeah,
something's wrong with by being sad,
yeah,
that I did something wrong and that I can't fix it. I can't get out of this. There's no way to get out of being sad. It's just my core identity.
yeah. So you can say now, I can be sad and then get out of it.
I can be sad and then get out of it. Feel like disgust a bit with that.
Disgust. Okay, yeah. What is it saying, the disgust? Where do you feel it in your body?
My esophagus and solar
Yeah.
plexus. It's just like, bleh.
Bleh. Is it saying, what is it saying? No? Or it's disgusting to be sad? Or,
More along that lines, yeah.
okay. See if you can find something that resonates with that part. This blah, no, blah. And we can rev it up again. I can be sad and then get out of it again. It's totally fine to be sad and then get out of it again. It's possible.
I think it's oh, like that when I said that it feels like it's part of my core personality, then I felt this disgust,
Hmm.
rejection of my being,
Yeah,
that something is just inherently wrong.
yeah.
Blech.
So there's something, is it saying it's something wrong with you?
Notice a bit of relaxation in my body, some calmness, still pain in my jaw. It's more like sometimes this falling into this apathetic feeling um, that I'm just too much and that this can't be fixed. So I kind of find some relaxation in that because that's what I always go back to.
You're too much and it can't be fixed.
Yeah, like this giving up feeling, which also brings some sadness again.
Yeah. So you can rev this up again and be like, I am not too much.
I'm not too much.
Is there a yes in your body? Yes, you are.
I actually believe that a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
always this
this,
clash. Like I sometimes really believe, but then my environment mirrors back that I am too much, and then the cycle repeats itself.
yeah,
And that people, it's too much for people, that's too intense, can't hold. It's just, yeah. And then it puts me back into the state of believing the outside world versus the inside, because you want to be in connection with humans. And
yeah. Okay, so it would then again you can find a reverse inquiry like I can connect with others even though they think I'm too much. I can connect with others even though they think I'm too much.
I can try to connect with others. Whether they want to or not is another thing. I can connect with others even if I'm too much, even if they think I'm too much.
Yeah, what does that bring up in your body?
Still apathy.
Apathy. Okay. So apathy, that's important. Like if there's no like direct answer, that's still an answer. So we can even work with the apathy. We could, for example, ask, what do I get out of apathy right now?
Peace.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm, yeah, when you don't feel as much or you don't care or you don't want to feel, that's actually very peaceful.
Yeah.
That's why in very deep depression states, I was actually quite calm because I didn't feel anything anymore. But
Yeah.
that's also like dying.
Yeah. And sometimes it's just an in-between state. So we could use the reverse inquiry. It's okay to feel apathy right now.
It's okay to feel apathy right now. Feels good to feel apathy right now. Feels light in my chest and my shoulders feel more relaxed.
Yeah, so it's not about judging the apathy, it's about finding its utility and inviting it in as a resource. Um, and then you can even use reverse inquiry again and be like, I don't need to feel apathy right now. And then maybe the lie comes in. It's like, yes, I need to feel it right now. I need to feel apathy right
I don't need to feel apathy right now.
now. I can come back to feeling.
I can come back to feeling slight resistance in the throat.
What is it saying? No.
Yeah. No, yeah, no. I'd say no. But only a little no.
Yeah.
Like a little like, oh,
No, I don't
that
want
one.
to.
Yeah.
What happens if you come out of apathy? What is this part saying?
It feels tired.
Tired. Yeah. Maybe even back to it's not fair.
Yeah, it feels like pushing a big boulder up a big hill. Like it feels really tiring
Yeah.
and I don't have the energy.
Yeah. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this.
Tired,
I'm tired of
tired,
this.
tired. I'm so fucking tired. I'm
Yeah.
so tired of
Yeah.
this life at times.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's always an uphill struggle. And when it's downhill, it's just building momentum to go back uphill.
Yeah. Yeah. So here actually sharing some of like the beliefs that are being created by this resistance energy, that this resisting part believes. So it's like, I don't want to feel because I'm tired. Like life always goes up, 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 something like life is against me, all these kind of things. Like life is a constant struggle. So we are just making that conscious. I don't want to, so this is, I don't want to feel, basically. Like, I'm tired. I'm tired of feeling. I'm tired of feeling this. I'm tired of feeling this.
Yeah. It's the energy like when you don't want to get out of bed.
Yeah. And
Like,
it's, now you can say it's okay to be tired.
it's okay to be tired. It's okay to be tired. It's okay to be tired. It's okay to not want to get out of bed. It's okay to be tired.
Is there a no?
If there is, it's very small. That I feel like, of course, that would say it's okay because it's like self-gratifying to say it's okay to do the things that are not helping you.
So there's no problem with being tired at all.
No, there is a problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you feel that?
My back
Maybe.
again.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's of course not. Like you get one life, why waste it in bed? Like, of course you need to sleep, but like, come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on. There's another voice that is not okay with the tiredness.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the more like angry part.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is the part that also got me out of the depression 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, was the angry voice. And that's why I think it doesn't want the sadness to be back again.
Yeah.
Hey, we did so much work to not be there.
Yeah. And this is, really powerful, that this part of you, that it got you out of this depression. And at the same time, it might still, understandably fear the sadness, because it thinks the sadness will bring you back into the depression. So we actually like found this out, and we actually expressed this belief that it's saying, no, don't be sad, don't be sad, don't be sad, don't be sad, don't be sad. Or don't be tired, don't be tired, don't be tired, don't be tired. Because this part connects tiredness and sadness with depression. So you can also move on, and you could continue. We are going to wrap this up in a few moments, but could continue with I can be sad without being depressed, or I can be tired without being depressed. What's happening for you now?
More calm,
Yeah.
having some yeah, weird images and things coming through.
Yeah, so what I noticed now, what's happening in Ashley is we've made some things conscious and we've processed some emotions. And you might think, oh, we weren't like solution oriented, like we didn't like make her feel like good or happy. But this is what naturally comes in after we have processed something. Yeah, we don't need to, of course, we can like make this stronger and I can resource her and I can make her focus on the calmness now, on the strength, and like actually the like being proud of what she achieved, like getting herself out of with all the work she's doing, getting herself out of the depression, and that she has a lot of resources, a lot of skills to move through. Even that she's doing this, she brought herself into a situation to be on this podcast, to be guided by me, to be able to express these parts of herself. And she was so honest and brave to face this, all these kind of things. This is great. And naturally, a strength and a calmness occurs in her, inside of her, just because she processed some emotions. And everything she said today was already inside of her. We just gave it a voice. We just aligned mind and body. And then this is the allowance that we need to process. It's like we're not here to fix her, we're not here to change her, we're just here to give her parts a voice so they can be processed and so that she feels safe to be herself. And once she gets the allowance and the permission to be herself with all her parts, with the parts that hate being sad, that hate being tired, that are afraid of being depressed again, all these parts are invited in, they can be processed, and she comes out again, when you remember the triangle, at a calmer state, more confident state, being like, yes, I have all of this inside of me and I can process it. So that removes the blockages. So yeah, Ashley, I invite you to take a few breaths. Maybe move your body a bit. Yeah. Knowing that you can always come back and continue this process if you'd like. And then slowly coming back to the space.
Wow, it was really psychedelic at the end.
Yeah, you want to share a bit about what happened there?
I was in like ancient old Japan, like in a samurai's house, and was like defending a family.
Wow. Wow.
Sure.
Some visions coming through.
Yeah, that was wild. You were like talking, I was like completely gone. This was epic. Thank you for demoing this with me. It's really like for me also to see other ways of quickly getting to the root. It's very, very helpful. And to meet all these resistant parts was very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had no idea I was resisting sadness that much. I thought I was in pretty good connection with it because I cry a lot, but I was always like subconsciously judging the crying every time.
Mm. Makes sense. And yeah, there's always deeper layers, right? It's like, oh yeah, I'm crying, but at the same time, a part of it I'm still holding back. I'm like allowing like this much crying because it can just be a strategy because I know crying is good for me and it gives me a little bit of a release. But then underneath those layers, maybe there's another layer of anger underneath that sadness, like you always say, these layers of sadness and anger, being like, don't be angry, like don't be more sad than this, don't be more sad than this, don't be more sad than this. And then underneath is more sadness that then you don't access because it's connected to or like even imprisoned by the fear of death, the fear of depression, the fear of not being able to connect to others, the fear of not being of being too much
Yeah.
eventually. Yeah. And I want to mention one thing, like sometimes we went into the mind, right? And we went to the stories. And this can sometimes be helpful. But ultimately, what is feeding all of this? What is feeding the belief I'm too much? I will be sad forever. I will be depressed. I can't get out of this. This is a black hole. It's fed by an energy of fear and sometimes shame and sometimes guilt or
Yeah.
like anxiety in the change triangle. It's called anxiety, shame, and guilt. So the most skillful way is to directly go to that energy in the body and allow it to express, for example, through rapid fire and be like, I'm don't be sad, or like if I'm sad I will be repressed, or whatever this voice is saying. And it's just words to the energy, and ultimately what counts is that you are in touch with this energy in your body. That's why I always asked Ashley, where do you feel this resistance in your body? It's in the jaw, it's in the chest, it's in the solar plexus, it's in the throat. And then she's like, from that point, she lets it speak. Always connected to the body. Don't just say things. Let the body speak.
Yeah, it's just super powerful. Like the giving external expression to an inside feeling is the essence of all of this. That's what emotional release is
Yeah,
at its essence. So,
exactly. Awareness and expression. These two things. Awareness of it, then expression of it. That's how healing happens.
yeah, in a nutshell.
In a nutshell. So that's healing for you in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed this demo, and yeah, come back to it anytime. Use the questions, use the techniques for yourself. Let us know in the comments how it worked for you.
Yeah, please do. I'd be very curious how that lands.
Yeah. And thank you, Ashley, for being so brave today to be guided. I know it takes a lot of courage and vulnerability.
It was very helpful. I'm gonna use it in my. I'm going for a workout now, so I'm gonna be like, sadness is okay in the
Yeah,
gym.
yeah. And if not, it's like, no, it's not, no, it's not, no, it's not, no,
Yeah,
it's not.
I'm gonna have some fun with this. Thank you, Jannick. And yeah, everyone can find us back next time with Tim also present. Yeah.
Yes. Subscribe and follow us along wherever you're listening or watching this. And we hope to see you again next time.
Super.
Bye.
Ciao.